For 37 years, Dr. Lyman Beecher Brooks dedicated his life to improving the lives of Norfolk State University students. Now, 20 years after his death, his dream lives on through scholarships and a new library. Our Lisa Godley looks at the man, his mission, and how his legacy is being remembered.
He was an educator par excellence, but he was also a tremendous leader, but he's what I would call a mentor leader. He took good people and made them much better than they ever thought they could be.
Dr. Howard Adams is describing Dr. Lyman Beecher Brooks. If that name rings familiar, it could be because you've heard it attached to the main library on the NSU campus, which is named in his honor. Or maybe, like Dr. Adams, you were fortunate enough to have known the man who held the reins as Norfolk State's chief administrator for close to 40 years.
I was one of his mentees. From the time I was here, I was a campus activist, student leader while I was on campus, and was a volunteer after I left. He invited me back on the campus to help organize the National Alumni Association. He became my mentor, encouraged me to go back to get a PhD, made sure that I was able to do that, and invited me back to work full time, and I rose up through the ranks and became vice president of it. So he was just a tremendous person.
But Adams is not alone. There are many faculty members who came to Norfolk State with master's degrees and were given the opportunity to get their PhDs during Dr. Brooks' tenure.
He saw extraordinary powers in ordinary people, that above everything else, education changed the world. And he preached all of the time about what this campus was going to be like. So he believed that you could develop an institution like this, and he stayed here to make sure that that was done.
Dr. Brooks came to Norfolk State as the director in 1938. His title changed to president in 1969, and he remained as the school's first president until he retired in 1975.
I think the growth and the impact that Norfolk State has had on this area would probably be what he would be most happy about. Because this has had quite an influence. So many youngsters who wouldn't have had an opportunity to become college people got the opportunity. He was a Christian gentleman, foremost. He held his church very high. Taught Sunday school for 38 years while he was president and director and all of those kinds of things. And he worked in the community. He was just a really unusual man. That's why he did such unusual things.
It's the legacy that those who knew, loved, and learned under the leadership of Dr. Lyman Beecher Brooks hope to maintain through a scholarship in his honor. Alums are working to raise close to $500,000 for the Lyman Beecher Brooks Scholars, and they want to do so by the time the new Brooks Library opens at the end of the year. Acting President Kim Lucas says scholarships like this are very important to the NSU family.
About 90% of our student body has some type of financial need, whether that be aid, scholarships, and/or loans. And so the raising of scholarships becomes extremely important for the institution to help our students to ensure that they're able to graduate within 4 years. We definitely hope to ensure that they don't have to take on full-time jobs, which many of our students unfortunately have to do, and to ensure that they're able to concentrate on their studies and not be worried about whether or not, if they're staying off campus, paying bills.
This will be an endowed scholarship, allowing only interest earned to be used for the actual scholarship. Alums say this way it will ensure Lyman Beecher Brooks Scholars continue well into the future. A fitting tribute to a man who did so much for so many. For Another View, I'm Lisa Godley.